Hello friends, welcome to Intuites.
Let's begin the class.
Hope my screen is visible to you.
Yes.
Okay, so I was discussing about we are creating the arrays in NumPy, right? Storing the number values there. The question would be like how it got stored inside the memory and what the advantages we will get when we have a when the same thing can be used on the list, right? So the main thing of the use of the NumPy is two things. First, when you are handling the numeric data and the size is very huge, better to use the NumPy. I will explain you why. Second thing is that the NumPy libraries are being inherited by so many other libraries. Like after this, we will learn the pandas, right? The pandas also is built on top of the NumPys only, the concept of arrays. So we should understand how the array works so that it will be easier to understand the pandas as well. Two things. So here the point is, am I still audible, right? Can somebody confirm?
Yes.
Okay. So when I'm planning to store the 5 in a NumPy, let's take 5. So the first advantage of the NumPy is like in the memory when it goes there, it will store in a contiguous. Contiguous means continuous. The continuous memory it will store, and the data will be stored in a bit in the sense 0 and 1. You know that the binary format of any number is form of a 0 and 1. That's called the bit, and 1 bit equals to 8 zeros. Okay. So how it will store inside the memory? It's like something like this: 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this I need to change it to text. I think then only I can get it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the one. Then it will take another bit, third bit, and the last bit would be 101. Sorry. So this is the way it will store. I'm not discussing the binaries. You can just brush up your skill on the binaries, like how binaries can, if you are more interested on this. But the way the 5 will be stored inside the memories, these are all from our childhood days. Like 01 we have done, like binary summation, all these things. Like 100 101 100 in school only we read this, all these things, right? Remember?
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm not going deep on that. So that's a waste of time only. So the way it is stored in this case, this is the way it will be stored. And this is continuous. So let's take this is the memory location. Let's take understand. This is your first memory location. Then the next bit will be stored in the second only, continuous. Okay. But the same thing, if you want to store in a list, so let's take in the list, if you want to store, then list is you know that it can hold multiple. Suppose you are storing only 5, but as the property of the list, it can store heterogeneous data, right? So it will hold couple of properties for that. So the first one, it will store as the data type. What kind of data type of data you want to store? Okay. Then the value, what is exactly the value for that? Then the reference, I'll come to that. Reference is what? The reference. Second one, the size as well. So many things you want to store when you come to the list, because in case of NumPy, we are very clear that it will store integer only. So it not considering data type, no value will store, but the reference nothing is required because reference is continuous. So what is the list component here? Suppose in a list, suppose you want to store multiple items. Let's take, okay. Just give an example of 5, 6, 7, 8, like this. So the data type is, let's take integer. In this case, it's integer. The value, let's take, I am keeping at 5, 6, 7, 8. What is the reference value? So exactly when you are going to the, how you are accessing the list member through the index, like this member of 0, 1, 2. Actually, this all these members now it is storing inside a memory. So let's take this memory location is 1001. This is location is 1004. This will be never will be continuous. If suppose in the first time also it is continuous, let's take 1002 and 1003 and 1004. The first time when you create the list. So here it is store 5, it will store 6, it will store 7, and this is where it will store. Okay, so the way it is stored. And what is reference here? The same one. The properties of this one. So 1001 is the memory, 1002 is this one, 1003 and 1004. This is all internal. Okay, we don't bother about which location they are going on. because ultimately we want to access through our index only. Okay, so where it is going, I don't know, but the way it is storing is whenever you are accessing the values of the list, it will go to a certain memory location, reference it, and get you the value. Okay, but the main thing is here, the main problem here in this case, suppose you have defined a list. After that, you can add, right? Say list one dot append, right? We can do that. List one dot append. Suppose you have an append another item. So here we can't guarantee that the the fifth item which you stored here, it will be a continuation. Can't guarantee that because by the time this memory location can be filled by other source. So now the 9 one can be stored in some other. This is the way it is stored. This is not continuous. This is not contiguous. So there's the disadvantage of your list. Okay, but when you have a heterogeneous data, we don't have any choice. We need to go for list and dictionary. So I'm not denying that we should not use list. That is all a disadvantage. But when you have a numeric kind of data, please go with the Numpy because the data set is used, it will be processing first, and the way it stores is a continuous things. Okay. Making sense? Are you good?
Yes.
All right. So now this is the way, and we have discussed couple of ways to create the arrays, and I'll just two ways, another one, two ways right there. I'll just explain that. Then we will come to the different concept, and we can wrap it up this one. Okay. So here, suppose I want to create an array. So let's take sample underscore array equals to. What are the ways you know to create an array as of now?
Using zeros, ones, that
What
is
else?
A range, linspace.
And even from the list also we can create the arrays, right? Directly we
Yeah.
have a list, then we can from there we can. So here this is the one. Now another way you can create is that like the identity. So let's take np dot identity of 5. So it will create an identity matrix here. So print, I can say sample. Okay. So if I run this, so what is identity matrix? Diagonal values of will be 1. This will be a 5 by 5. How many? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. It's a 5 by 5 matrix, and the diagonal is the value is 1. That is called your identity matrix. Okay. So this is also we can create it, and we can put your d type equals to int as well here to create an integer array. Okay. So this is also one way to create your matrix. Got it? Second way is to create is another way. Let me put it in this way. Let's create a sample array again equals to np dot full method. Okay. In the full method, I can put the coordinates. Okay. Then equals to the value. So now if you run this, it will create a 2 by 3 matrix of all the values as 10. So whatever the values you will give it here, that will be inside your matrix. Okay. It will be 2 by 3 matrix, and suppose you are giving 100 here, then the 2 by 3 matrix will be filled up with all the hundreds. Okay.
Samir, here instead of
Mm.
this 100, right? The fixed
Mm.
value, you can give the dynamic value, right? We can store some variable and then loop it in loop,
Yeah,
right? Also.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And another way, let's suppose you want to create an array of random decimal values. Okay, suppose you want to create something, so that also we can create something like this. So I'll say sample underscore array equals to np dot random dot rand. Right. Okay, then I can pass 2 comma 3. So this is also created to 2 by 3 matrix, and with all the random numbers of all the decimals. Okay, this is also one more way to create it. the arrays. So there are different types of procedures you can create the arrays. Okay, and these are the different ways. So zeros, one, linspace, arrange, full method, identity method, random methods, all the things you can do that. Okay, and I'm not discussing one thing here that I think you know that is called the copy method. You know from the string list, I think discussed the list copy method completely. Same applies on the NumPy arrays as well. So that I am leaving up to you to practice the copy method. Okay, making sense, right? You can do that. What is shallow copy, deep copy? You remember all these things?
Yeah.
I explained you completely on the list. Okay, so just be the same one, like copy and how it works on the list. The same thing will apply on the NumPy arrays. So I don't want to discuss that. Is that fine?
Yes, Samir.
Hmm.
In list, we are using string. What about NumPy? We are using strings, or we can process with numeric values only.
This is not suitable. Should not be the question after 2-3 class of NumPy. Okay, NumPy is
Yeah,
numeric
it's
only, right?
numeric only. And that's also main disadvantage, right? Compare with
There is no,
list, because we are using
there
string in
is,
list.
there is no disadvantages. Library
Okay.
itself is created for the numbers only. There is no disadvantage. So the
Okay.
problem was happened is when the list contains the numbers and somebody wants to handle the numbers, then it is performance is degraded to the location how it got stored. So for that
Okay.
only the NumPy got built up to handle only the numbers. There's no
Okay.
disadvantage. It
Okay,
only
Samir.
advantage in NumPy only. Okay, and NumPy is very much helpful in your ML also. If when you go to the machine learning, linear algebra, all these things, NumPy will be very much helpful because you need to handle the numbers there. Okay, and
Okay, Samir. Yeah.
second advantage is that the concept of the is array, right? Two-dimensional, one-dimensional, whatever maybe. Those concepts are taken up to build up the other libraries like pandas, which will learn visualization like matplotlib, poly, all these things. They've taken the concept of the NumPy only. On the top of that only they build it. Okay. So all of advantage only NumPy. When you have a numbers that I told you, when you have a heterogeneous data, we don't have any choice. NumPy will not hold the heterogeneous.
Okay, Samir.
That
Yeah, got it. Thank
that we
you.
should that we should be very clear on this.
Samir, we can store the string value also, right? If we are declaring the array, right? Okay, for example, a sample array np dot array, and then in the bracket you can create a string value and then print the value also, right?
But what we will do with that? I'm saying.
No, but okay, my understanding is it is not only for number. We can also it allows the string value also. But the purpose is the number, but it should not. It is not restricting. It is not. You cannot store array string value also, right? You can
No,
store the
I'm not
string
saying.
value.
If you just do one thing, if you do the string there, just check
uh,
the data type. Second thing at how it got stored. Like
Yeah,
it is
Samir.
storing the complete number or complete string.
I
Hmm.
tried with string. It accept, but we don't do any methods like sum anything. So that's
Right.
the reason I'm asking. Yeah.
So that's the like see, you can take a different route and store it, whatever, but there is no meaning of that, storing of that. Allowing, don't allow doesn't matter here. What you will store, what you will do with that data. That's matter.
Okay, Samir. Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
I got your point, but my question is, if suppose in the interview, right, if asking, okay, in the numpy, right, so you can store string. I thought we cannot store the string. That's my understanding. Okay, so we can store, but the usage will be having a very limited. So there is a usage
There
for only for the number.
there will be no uses if you store the string there.
Yeah, yeah. But the interview question, if I say no, right, I cannot store the string. It's not a right answer, right? That's why my point. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, it's interview perspective. But I don't think so. Nobody will ask that question. That whether we can store in the NumPy. If he's asking, I don't know why he's asking.
Okay. Some people
Yeah, no.
some people they want to ask something, so they might ask. Okay, they will check. Okay,
That's
yeah,
their ego. That is their
yeah,
ego
yeah.
to
That's
ask that
correct.
question.
That's correct. Okay, 100%. But we cannot talk. We cannot say to the interviewer, right? That
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so now this is the one. Now I explain you few things like on the array operations, the mathematics. Like if I say sum of array in this case, so it is the elements are 1 0 0 1 0 0. So if I say sum of array plus 2, then it will be all the elements of the array, it will be plus 2. That's the advantage here. Okay. Same you can do the plus, minus, everything. So I am explaining one more thing is in this case is this is one the sum of array. Uh, let's take yeah. So from this array, let's take plus 2 or not will not get identity matrix. Sorry for that. So let's create a full matrix here. So I'll just explain you this now. So np dot full of comma 3 comma 2. Okay, and I want to represent. Okay, what I'm doing, I don't know. Okay, that's fine. And if I'm just planning, just give me a second. I'm just thinking in my head what I want to do it here. So all 5. Okay. Now here I want to do a plus something plus 2. Okay. So it will be all 7 now. Yes, exactly. No, I just give me a second. I just want to explain you one topic that is called on the method. So we need to create something out of this for that. Just just give me a second. Let me think through. Okay. So here. Okay. So then, yeah. So I'm just talking about here dot reset equals to 5,2. Yeah. Okay. Or maybe 2,5. Okay. Now here we have created a range matrix with with a matrix of 2 is 2 by 5. Okay. Now what I'm planning to do it in this case is, so I say np dot minimum of my sample array. What do you think it will give me the output by seeing the matrix? What should exactly it should give me if I see in this case? Can you just tell me?
It
Zero
would
on five.
be
It
it
will
would
give
be
me
like
0, right? Okay.
Z-
Okay. And if I say max, then it will should give me 9, right?
9.
Okay. Now I am doing one more thing here. So there is an parameter is available here. Okay. So before to that, I'm just printing for you. Then I will write that. A simple array. And just printing for you exactly so that you can see the exact what is there. Now what I'm doing is np dot min of sample array. Then there is a extra parameter is there here. Okay. So that's called exist equals to, let's say 0. It is throwing me an error np dot min. It's not working. Is it? Just give me a second, guys. Not really. Still is working. Inside this. Yeah, x is equals to 0. Now, there is an axis standpoint here. Now, tell me what you think before running this. I'm just running this. I'm just continue this. So if I run this x is equals to 0, what do you think the minimum value will come up here? Now you understand the total overall mean you understand. Now I am just giving extra parameter for x is equals to 0. What do you think from if somebody asks you this question? I know we didn't discuss this, but still, what do you think? What should be the output? Just a guess, wild guess.
0.
What about others? Just a guess. You can. There is no. We are not marking here, right? And there is no right and wrong here. Just say it. Are you there? All everybody?
Maybe it will be print the axis, that is, it means by x-axis and y-axis like that. Zero axis, the straight line of the
So
zero.
what will be my output?
Output might be like 1, 0, 2, 3, 4, 4. First row, first array.
First row.
Because
First.
I mean, because axis, right? X-axis and y-axis like that. The zero is a minimum.
Exactly. From this is the one. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's giving me that. If I say x is equals to 1, then
Then it may give 1, 2, 3, 4.
that
0 and
is
5. Oh, okay. Oh, axis 1.
column.
Okay, this column. Okay.
Yeah.
X and Y
So
coordination.
x
Okay.
and y. Just want to understand, okay? Right now it is not feasible, like we are not able to see, but you need to understand that what exactly you are doing. X is equals to 1, then what? And x equals to 0 means what? That we need to understand completely. Okay? In a parameter. Okay. So this is an optional parameter we never use, but we need to. Why I use it? Because we need to understand what is 0 and what is 1 here in this case. Okay, that's okay. You can understand this. Now you can do the same thing with the
So you
min,
can give
max.
zeros and one only. You can give only zeros and one or any number.
You can try it out. I never tried actually. Let's put the 2 as well. Now there is a 0, 1, 1, 1. So here, just do them some R&D on this as well. So how things are there. But check it out. This is also very helpful. Why? These are all will come handy when you work on the pandas. Okay. Anyway, so the min, max, sum, all these things the same. The how you are doing the list sum, how you are doing the mix, mean, max from the array. It's very simple. Okay. It's the way it is on the list. Okay. One thing I want to discuss, which is very much important in NumPy, is suppose you have a file of different numbers. In the text file, I want to generate a array. Suppose this is the case. You suppose somebody has. Can you go and mute somebody, please? So here, the thing is, I have a suppose client has given you sample file with different numbers, and that you want to import to NumPy, and you want to generate an array out of it to process it or to work on that. So for that, let me go to my file. Hopefully I have a file something. Let's create a file. Okay. Let's create a text file. Let's take sample, and inside that let's take I have written 100, 200, 400, 500, 600, something, the amount somebody has given you. Let's think like that. Okay. 700, 800, 900, and they are giving as a comma separated value. And this file, I want to read through the NumPy, and whatever the values I have with the numbers that I want to create an array out of this. So for that, what I need to do? So let's take an object. Let's take file equals to np dot. There's a function called gen from text. Okay, generated from text. This is the function we need to use. Then I need to give my file name. And as you know that if the file name and your Python file on the same folder, then no need of path. Otherwise, we need the path. Okay. So let's take it out the path here and put it here slash sample dot or sample dot txt. Okay. And here, if you remember in the open cases, right? We are just putting like that, but here I need to provide my delimiter. Delimiter equals to this com. Okay, so that I can read the file, and even I can put d type equals to int as well, so that all the files will be mine in this case. Okay, now this is the function. Okay, problem as you know this. Okay, now print file. Let's see. Path not found.
There are 3 slashes after C colon.
Okay. Sorry. Maybe here it will take some delay. Why? Sample.txt. Things are good to me. I don't know. File not found. Is it
Samir, why you are giving a single slash? You should give two slash, right? The
here? No, that's
yeah.
same thing. Still, it is just doing the same thing to me. Saying not found. Syntax is good to me. That is the problem. Why it is not able to find it? It's- Some, yeah, that's the problem here. That's, okay, let me do one thing. Otherwise, let me try this. Okay, let me copy this file to where my Python files are there. Same folder. Okay, here only it is there. Then I don't think so. I required the path. So directly run this. But we need to check why it is not working. Sample.txt. Hopefully it should work. Yeah, it is working. The path. Just want to check it out, guys. Okay, do some research on this. Why it is not working? Because what I did now, where I have my files are there, like Python file where I'm storing it. There only I kept the file, okay, the simple file. Then it is working, but the way it's supposed to be, it's not working. Just do some R&D on this and do let me know why it is not working. Or if I have time, I'll check it out. But the ultimate goal is here we are reading the file and we are putting as a delimiter explicitly that it will be comma, and it have a quotient, and it is just creating an array out of this. Okay, so this is very much important, this gen from text, and you'll come to know this. Like you will have some instances where the client is generating some file which is purely numbers of, like, let's say, any sales and all, and you want to process the data into the Python, then this function will be very much helpful, gen from text. Okay, makes sense? Are you good?
But why are we giving the delimiter and all? Is there any particular reason why we are giving delimiter?
In this for methods is no, it will take delimiter. It will not never. There is no default delimiter in this case for the gen from text. If you can try it out without that also. These are all experiment you need to do, because in a real time we'll never experiment all these things actually. Okay, so just
Okay.
think of like that. So this is showing -1 something. Okay, so ultimately you need to give the delimiter. In this case, as of how I know, so we need to explicitly provide your what you call the delimiter. Otherwise, it will not work. Okay, but in the open functions, it is fine. So here it will not never read until unless you are giving your delimiter. That's the way. Okay.
So, Samir, it is working for me with Path, like, but
Path is
I'm
working.
using, yeah, for me it's working because mine is not like a SQL or something. I'm the Mac, so I'm using the Unix format, but different format. It is working.
Yeah, I understand. I don't think so. There is an issue on that one, but you can try it, guys. The Windows guys, please do check it out and do let me know. And I'll also check. Doesn't matter. But anyway, that is fine. Ultimate goal is to how you are accessing the file, and out of that, how you are generating your error. Okay. All right. So here, this is generating. Now on this one, we can do some the filters. We can do that. So here, suppose I'm saying that print file less than, let's take 100, right? So let's take less than or greater than 100. What do you think it will give you the output here? The file is the object which holds all the metrics like 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 900. Okay. So if I say file greater than 100, what should be my output here? What do you think it will give you? Just a guess, guys. Just don't execute your code and tell me. Just tell me, like, if I suppose I am giving file greater than 100, what should you give? What do you think here will give you the output?
Maybe 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900.
So except this part, everything will be come up, you're saying?
No, except the first row or first column.
No, it is like all the
Okay.
elements will be executed, and whichever condition is satisfying, it will give you true, another will be false. So the first item is in this array is 100, right? So we are saying file greater than 100, it is false. Other items are true. That's what this is all about. Okay. Now tell me the same thing if you understand this. Now if I do a indexing thing, index with the filter. Okay. I'm saying file of file greater than 100. Then what will be? Just think through the index things. These are all I'm doing index now. The file which is there, it's an array. Now inside the index, I'm giving a condition. You understand the first item on the line number 3, that if I say file greater than equals to 100, then it is going to the individual element of the array and it is checking whether it's greater than 100. If it is true, then it's giving true. If it's not, it's giving the false. Then now the same thing I'm doing with the index. What will be the output?
It will be the same.
It will be the same output.
Hmm.
Okay. What about others?
Maybe second and third row. Oh, same.
It will give you the all the elements apart from 100. Okay. Here we are saying that whichever is greater than 100, just give me that index. So it is reading all the item, whichever is greater than 100, the rest of the item it will throw you. Okay. And in this case, we can put a and or operation as well. So how we can do that? Something like this. So inside that, I want to put a square bracket says file is greater than 100. Okay. Then I'll say and I'll say file. These are very much what I'm writing. This will be very much helpful. We'll go to the pandas only because these are all inherited to the pandas as well. Okay. So file less than equals to 400. Okay. So here I'm just doing like this. Then what will be my output here? What do you think?
200, 300, 400.
200, 300, 400. Anybody else? Any thought here? Hmm? I'm just commenting that. So I'm just printing the first one. Let's run this. Again, it is giving me the true and false. And is a Boolean operations. Okay. So whichever is condition is satisfying, it is giving wherever is true, true, and wherever is false, it will give you the false, false, false. The only part is whenever doing indexing, then only you will able to enhance or you will get the data. Otherwise, everything, whether and operator or operator, if you do it, then it will individual element, if it is satisfied, it will be check false, especially true, else it will give you the false. Please remember this. Okay. All right. And same we can do the or operators. And operator in NumPy and even on the pandas is this only single ampersand. It will never be a and D. It will not work. And even or operator is just a pipeline. Okay. So this we need to remember and an or operator. Make sense? All right. So I think this includes the array, how we are summation all these things. I will give today a couple of exercise on the NumPy, like 10 questions I will give you. Just go through that. So that will be refresh all your concept on the NumPys. Okay. So it will consist of everything so that your whatever your learning you have done on the NumPy, everything will be covered. All right. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Now let's understand. Now let's start the next library. Let's call your pandas. Okay, which is very much important. So I'll start with introduction to pandas. So your 90% of your job when you are working on a data side, data analytics or data engineering side, your 90% Python will be covered up inside the pandas. Okay, so that much of popular this library. So here suppose, as you know, first we need to import it. That hopefully everybody installed your pandas already. So I'm saying import pandas as PD. Okay, as PD. So this is the default location PD. Now suppose just think like I have a what do you call? I have a employee data in the form of a dictionary. Dictionary, you remember everybody?
Yes.
So now let's take I'm saying name. Then how will write? And what is
Colon,
name
Colon,
here in this case?
colon,
What is name?
key,
key.
Key. Then column. Then I need to write my name, right? And suppose then the next item how will I comma, right? So gender and suppose email. Then so XYZ, see. Okay. So this is your dictionary. Got it? Now just think like this is your question. On the dictionary, for the name, I want to store 3 names. For the gender also, I want to state 3 values. And for the email also, the responding, I want to store 3 values. How I will do it? Getting the question? Are you getting my question? You got the question or no? Hello?
Yes.
Sorry, Samir, could you repeat the question?
So now I'm storing only 1 employee. In that same dictionary, I want to store 3 employees. How I will store? So it means that I want to store three names and corresponding three gender. Now got the question?
We do it with values, dot values, for loop, for I, that way.
No, I just want to store it. I don't want to extract. First of all, it should be stored. Then I can use my values function or whatever function I want to use it. Right?
Yeah, you can add a comma and then you have to open a one more bracket, the first before the name. Okay.
But the key will be name only, right? For the name, I want to store three values. One key should have three values. Key will be only one, right? The name will be the
Yes.
key. For the key, I want to store three values. For the gender is the key, I want to store three values. Email, I want to store three values. That's it.
ഒരെണ്ണം വാങ്ങിച്ചിടായിരുന്നു എനിക്ക്.
Sorry.
You can give the square bracket after
Yeah,
the name
exactly. Yeah, exactly. We need to
and
do a
then
list here.
list here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's what the answer I was expecting. Okay. So this is the way we can do it. So the values item I can put a list. Okay. And in the gender also. So I can put this, and email also I can put like this. So now if I print my employee underscore data, then let's run this. Yeah, sorry, employee data of, let's take name. We have to go the keys, right? Sorry. What happened? Okay, I got it. It's showing slow. Okay, now I'm getting this data. Okay, so like that we can do the click. But here, uh, how it is getting stored? It is getting stored in like a list kind of thing, right? But suppose you want to store the same thing in a tabular format, like a row and column. Okay, and suppose you like how you're storing in Excel file or how you're storing in a let's take in a table in the SQL table. The way that I want to store like this the data. Okay, then in that case, your pandas will be very much helpful. And the structure, which way the pandas store, that is called the data frame. Okay, so here I'm creating a data frame here out of this scenario. So to store the data. So I'm saying the data frame underscore employee equals now pd dot the data frame dot data frame. Then I'm passing on my dictionary right now. Okay, got it? Now if I run now the print my df underscore employee, then it will show you the data. That's so the way I'm expecting. See the way it is storing up the data. Now out of the dictionary we are giving the data. So these are all the indexes 0, 1 and 2, and these are all the headings. These are all the data which I captured inside my dictionary. And this the format of the storing of the pandas. This is called the data frame. Okay, so it's more of a like a SQL table, right, or the Excel tables. Only thing is we are having some index 0, 1 and okay. Up to here, any questions? Are you good?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I want to see what kind of type, so you understand that if you are storing integer is integer class, string, list, class, object also you understand. Now, suppose I want to check what is this type of this data frame. How I check? So which function I will check? Well, which function I should use now to check what kind of data type for the data frame? Can you tell me which function I should use?
Type of
Yeah, type of df underscore employee. So if I check it, the data type of this data frame employee, it is saying that it's a class of planned as core data frame. Okay, so it's a the df of employee is an object of the data frame class. So data frame is a class of the pandas library, and out of that we are creating a df.employee. So this is the data frame. So this is a data frame object. Okay, just remember this is not a integer, neither is a string or nothing. It's a data frame. Okay, makes sense. Now the next thing is, suppose you want to access individual elements of this. Suppose from this data frame I want to access only the name or any column, any specific column I want to get it. So there are two ways to write the syntax for that. The first thing is I can say df underscore employee, then inside that, just like in a dictionary how you are doing it, the same way you can do it. Like if you give the name here, then if you run this, then you will get only the names. So the second one. Okay, I'm just not printing the, you are able to understand the first output is complete name, okay, complete data frame, and the last one, this one, this is called all the names you are accessing. Don't get confused. Okay, good. And another way to write the same syntax is we can go with the dot operator as well. So you can say df.employee dot name like this. Hopefully I will get it. Got it? So either of the way we can use it, either the data frame dot the column name or data frame, inside that just like an index you can put the name. Okay, I will prefer this way because that's is a good way, I think so, compared to the you have a choice, you can do that. Okay, now just think like, now this is the print, the type of the data frame we saw, that is a data frame object, the class. If I print the print of type of this, whatever I'm accessing the column, okay, inside the data frame I'm accessing the columns, that I want to see what kind of data it is. So if you run this, you will get this is a series. Just remember, in pandas, when you create a data frame, whatever you are showing the rows and columns is called the data frame, and inside the data frame how many columns I have, those are columns are called the series. Just remember that column is nothing but a series here. Okay, any questions? We are good. Today so much silence is there. What happened? Okay, that's okay. You are following me, right? What I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So now let me run this. So you're getting it. Now suppose in a table, right, normal SQL, you can see the column definition, like describe, like how many column, what are the types, all these things you can see. The same way you can do it here as well. So I will say print df underscore employee dot info. So if I click on this info, then it will give you some information about the data frame, something like these are the indexes, these are the column, not null, and these are all object type, all these things you can get it here. Okay, this is the info. The same way, another one is there, it's called my df info dot describe. Okay, so if you click on the describe, then it will give you the how many counts, what are the unique records, what are the top records, what are the frequency, some information about the data frame also we get. So you can use the info methods, and even you can use the your describe method as well. Okay, makes sense. So I think next class we will see that how to read the CSV and all these things. But one thing you can do, still do it in the sense. This is okay now. Now we're getting your my data frame here. Now from here, no, I want to extract exactly some, just like a index and slicing. Suppose I want to do that on the data frame. Suppose this data I want to access, or specifically this data I want to extract, and how I can do that. So for that, in pandas there are two methods is there. One is called your iLog, and second one is called the log. Okay, so iLog stands for index location, and normal location is called your level location. Okay, we'll see what the difference between these two. So how we can access all these things. So here I say print def underscore my data frame. What's the name I have given? Sorry, df underscore employee. Yes, df
df
underscore
underscore
employee.
mp.
Yeah. So if I give 0, okay, sorry, not like this. I will say iLog of 0, location of the 0, df underscore iLog underscore 0. Then you will get what you are getting: gender name Samir, gender male, and email equals to this much. The first row itself, you are getting it right. First row it is reading name equals to Samir, gender equals to male, and email equals to this much. If I say 1, then it will go to the first index. So this is index based. So it is 0th index, this is 1 index, this is second index. Got it?
Yes.
Making sense? Yeah. So if I say 0, comma 2, then what will you get? Just think and tell.
Only email.
Just think again.
Uh, First and third row or email first 0 on second column or second 0 on second row, like
Or
first
only
and
the
third row.
name.
Give me one output at least. No, you are confusing me as 3 outputs.
First and third row, two rows.
So, so do you mean to say this row and this row?
Yeah, and third row. Yeah.
Okay. What about others? What you got?
Oh, all the rows.
Yes. 0, 1, 2. Everything else.
No, XYZ. I guess only the email. You have given another print before. Only the email is also there.
So what is the output you are getting here?
Only the
0, comma.
email.
So it
The
is the
the
first
email of
row.
the first row.
This is 0, and this is 0. This is 1. This is 2. You remember in the arrays also we did the same thing. Is
Yeah,
it
that
not
is
like
fine.
a? It is not like a matrix.
Yeah.
This looks like a matrix, right? So 0, 2. So this is the output. This is the index. So this is 0. This is 1, 2, and this is also 0. This is 1. This is 2. So 0, 2. Okay. Now
Yeah,
tell me.
Samir. Yeah, Samir. Yeah. Then before it should be 0 and 0, right? When we are giving 0, it will completely print the first row, right?
Yeah, it will come to the first row because the column is not giving. When you are not giving the end result start and stop, when you are not giving the stop, it will read everything, right? In the list also.
Okay.
Don't you think so?
Okay.
You have you remember the list indexing, slicing, array indexing, slicing. The same thing, pandas indexing, slicing also. Exactly same. Start, it can be 0. If you're not giving anything, it will go till completely. So it is reading everything
Okay.
completely.
Okay, Samir. Yeah, got it. Yeah, thank you.
Now tell me, if I see like this, comma 2, what will be my output? See, these are things I should not, you should try this. Make 30 minutes, only do this, different combinations, so that you can understand. Okay, what should be the output of this? And this is the last for today. I'm just stopping here, and I will start the CSB reading and all from the Sunday class. Just tell me the output, and we can stop it here.
You will get the second row, Sujit, male, ABC.
How you are saying that?
You have given 1:3. So that
Hmm.
means the second row, 3 is the endpoint. So you will get 0, 1, 2. So Sujit, male, and ABC. And it's a blind guess. So,
That's
comma,
what I think with this I explained yesterday class about the
yesterday's class.
indexing slicing of the arrays. The same thing applies here. Okay. I want all of you to try one more time here. This is giving me ABC and DEF. How? Tell me.
ABC and
Let's think through. These two I'm getting. This one, this one. That I got it. The second is a column.
Yeah.
Anyway, it will give me the output of the email only. That I'm very clear on that. Okay, because this is zeroth column, this is one column, this is second column. Because second after the comma, whatever you are giving, we are referring to the column only. So anyway, we'll get the output from the email only. That is very much clear. But why I are getting this only, this two, 1 and 3? Because we are starting at one index and going to, so it will be minus, right? Always the last, it will not never read in Python, right? If it's 1 to 3, it will be 1 and 2 only, correct?
Yeah.
0 and 0 to 3 means 0 to 2 exactly, right? 0 1 2. It will never just, that's why it is 1 and 2 and it is waiting for the second column. It is it is clearly mentioned also here. If you see, this is 1 and 2, the index 1 is to 3. It will start at 1, stop at 3 means it will stop at 2 actually. Right. In our index, it is 1 and 2, and from that the second column. Second column is this ABC and D. Make sense? So this part is always the row part. This part is always the column part. Just remember this. Okay. Please do practice more on this. Okay. You should be very much clear on the slicing of the two-dimensional array at least. Okay. All
Okay,
right.
Samir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Just yeah. So do just practice on this more because this will be helpful because that's what the you should know the numpy due to this. Okay. Otherwise, numpy you can skip it. If it is fine. But this the why you are doing it because the underline is numpy. All right. So that's stopping here and